Enough with introductions. Let's get started. I might not know what you're up to, but I'm going to win, no matter what!
Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with some more My Hero Academia All's Justice news and updates here on the channel for DLC. Yes, our first ever DLC character has been revealed for the game. That will be Star and Stripe. She's coming soon. I would have to say it's probably going to be within the next 3 to 4 months. It could be a little bit sooner. If you guys know how DLC generally works when it comes to these anime games or anime arena fighters, they generally will drop the first wave or the first character, depending on like the type of game it is, within 2 to 4 months of the release, right? So we could see her anywhere from April to June, right, as being the first DLC character. I believe the same situation happened with Bleach Rebirth of Souls. We got the game, I think, in March, and we got the first DLC somewhere mid-late June for Ichigo, if I recall correctly, the 1,000-Year Blood War. So, same situation with Sparking Zero. That one, I think it was January. So, it was like 3-ish months, maybe a little bit longer. I mean, it really just depends on how much you're getting out of this. So, like, with Sparking Zero, for example, those were full-on character packs. Like, you had a lot of characters that they added. These are only one individual character, right? So, let's go over the Season Pass, when to kind of expect these releases throughout the year. And that's probably why they do it to where they release the game, most of these anime games, earlier on in the year, so that they have the full year to work on and release the following characters. So I think Bleach Rebirth of Souls also had either 4 or 5 characters. Okay, I'm just using that as a reference because that was the last game right before this one that, you know, was by Bandai Namco. So they're going to follow a similar release pattern, right? So, for Star and Stripe, she'll be the first one. I would bet that she would probably be around maybe May, I think is a good in-between. Put her in May. Somewhere, maybe even early May, right? It could be late April as well. Then, we have 4 other characters. Now, I think there are leaks out there. I wouldn't trust them 100% just because, again, leaks don't... Unless they went into the files and the leaks were like, okay... The leaks show these characters are DLC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what I mean? So if it's like that, then I get it. But I saw some stuff saying that Spinner is going to be potentially DLC. Mount Lady is going to be potentially DLC. And oddly enough, and again, I don't know where the leak came from. I just saw it kind of circulating around. So credits to whoever found it or data mined or whatever. But I saw that Shigaraki, his original first, I guess, debut version variant, would also be DLC. You know how fucking pissed I would be for that? Like, we already have 2 Shigarakis in the game. I think the, regular one that was from the previous games that we already have in the game, not the all-for-one variant, right? The other one. That one is good. We good. We don't need another Shigaraki, right? We really don't. I know he's, like, one of the main antagonists of the game, of the series, but like, we don't need 3 Shigarakis. I want all of these characters. I beg and pray that every single one of these characters is a new character. I don't want another Deku. I don't want if it's a Bakugo that is, the cluster final version of him, like where he fights all for one, I would be good with that just because Bakugo only has one version of himself. And as long as they give him new animations and new shit and, like, you know, the way he looks is different and stuff, kind of like the other Dekus, right? Then yeah, hell fucking yeah, I would take that shit. But for Spinner, yeah, I mean, we kind of expected him to be DLC if that's going to be what they go for. His muscular full power version, I don't know the official name for that, is a boss fight in the game. So they could have that function as like maybe a a rising. And have him like transform, kind of like Tokoyami, right? He can do the dark shadow, like giant fucking bird, slaps the shit out of you. It's broken as hell. So yeah, something like that could work. I think Mount Lady, like I said, was another one. So yeah, like Mount Lady, isn't Mount Lady in Ultra Rumble, if I recall correctly? So it's like, what the fuck, dude? Like, It's the same devs too. So like these are characters, all these characters that are potentially going to be DLC if the leaks are true, could all be coming, right? And then again, the Shigaraki one would piss me off. And then the last one, I don't know. I have no idea who it could be. It could be literally anyone. There's so many choices of characters that didn't make the roster that could have made it in. Redestro, right? What the fuck? Like, he was a huge main, I guess, antagonist thing for, was it end of season 6, if I recall correctly? So it's like, you know how many characters, how much content between the second game and this third game that they didn't adapt? Like, what was it? I think it was all the way until the end of season 4, and they had some season 5 stuff, I guess, as like DLC, or I mean, season 6 stuff was some of it was like free update / DLC, because there's Vigilante Deku, right? As like a skin that they added. So there were things in One's Justice 2 that they did add, but it's like everywhere from like season mainly 6 onwards should have been in this fucking game, right? For the most part. And even like, you know, if you want to add in season 5 stuff too, right? Because it's like, what the fuck, dude? But yeah, let's talk about Star and Stripe, right? What could her moveset potentially be, okay? And again, you guys can go crazy in the comments, speculation of what you think or what you hope will be added as DLC. Again, I think the first character being Star and Stripe is a great choice. Would have preferred her to be in the base game, but they gotta do their fucking DLC releases, right? And, you know, siphon off the money from us. So the only real, I guess, showing of her ability, New Order, the quirk New Order, right? Where she can like impose a rule on her opponent in a sense, right? It has mainly been some type of air manipulation, okay? Because she can, for the most part, she can do almost anything. Like, she can do a lot of cool shit, right? But in the anime, like, her display of this quirk, it had mainly been like some type of air manipulation. So for a video game, for like a moveset, I think that would work pretty good. She's got ultimate moves like fist bump to the earth, and I think it's Kuranos. I think that's how you pronounce that. State-of-the-art hypersonic intercontinental, I can't even speak, intercontinental cruise punch. I did say it right the first time. What the fuck? So my brain's not processing this shit too well, right? But yeah, like you're seeing it from this little gif right here, how she makes like this star to suck all the air out and fuck up Shigaraki there. And then this one right here where she does like a, I call it the Susanoo. Anytime that a character makes a giant version of themselves in a way, I just call it the Susanoo or some shit like that. Like Goku did this shit. We're going to be seeing that in the Mora arc, which is going to be so gas. But she makes it out of air. She makes like a giant air version of herself, and it mimics her movements and stuff, right? So that could be a really cool ability, maybe as her plus ultra. They could do a Tokoyami type of thing where her rising creates that giant version of herself, and you get to play as it and beat the shit out of the character. Same thing with like Mountain Lady, like a rising for Mountain Lady, make her giant, right? Because obviously she can't be giant the whole time in the battle, because that would be ridiculous, right? That would be so broken or just crazy. So yeah, something like that I think would work pretty well. You saw in the anime, I mean, these are spoilers if you haven't watched it. Why the fuck are you watching this video? She like gives the quirk to Shigaraki and destroys him from like the inside, like destroys other quirks from the inside. So I don't think they would add that in there, just because that was a specific thing for Shigaraki. You know how cool it would be if they did it, where there was like one unique thing that they did where she does like her plus ultra, but it gives you like a different special animation. Like, they're not going to do that, but it would be kind of cool, right? Like, oh, if you're fighting all for one Shigaraki and you're using Star and Stripe and you use her plus ultra, she specifically gives you like a special animation where she's like inside of Shigaraki's all for one powers and shit and fucking him up, right? That would be so sick, but they're not gonna do that shit. So yeah, she would be, you know, she's got cool things that she can have. She's gonna be very like melee physical based. She's just gonna beat the shit out of you, right, for normal movesets and stuff. And then I think all of her quirk skills would probably be some type of like air manipulation, where she maybe even in her moveset, the giant version of herself comes out in like one of the combos or whatever, and like beats the shit out of you or something like that, right? Yeah, she's got some cool things. I hope that they do add in like like some of her quirk skills or like abilities. Show that star, that air star thing that she makes right here that you're seeing for the air manipulation. Like, yeah, lots of cool things that they can get creative with. She's gonna be a good character. Like I said, we already know she's coming. So expect her within the next couple of months, few months. Could be anywhere from like I said, April to May-ish. I don't think we would have to wait any longer than that. And then they would probably release characters, if we're going based off of how they do it with the other games, probably every 1 to 2 months, right? So we could see character number 2 coming around maybe June or July. Character 3 could be maybe around like late August to September. Character 4 probably around fall, so that would be maybe around like October, November. And then the last character probably around December. That's usually how they've done it, okay? It could be a little bit sooner, it could be a little bit later. Just really depends on how long it takes, because this game, every character definitely, for the most part, feels very unique. I don't see a lot of reused things at all, unless it's like, you know, the same exact character. But even then, they make them unique for the most part. So, yeah, really hopeful that they will cook. I think they can do a good job. Biking has shown with their movesets and stuff for the other characters in the base game that they will be good. But yeah, Star and Stripe, excellent choice for the first DLC. I'm very, very excited to see how she plays. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Drop a like, subscribe to your channel, ring my notification bell. I'll see you next time. Peace.
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.